And hi, everybody, it's Crystalline here, and I'm going to talk to you right now about what it takes to be an alchemy coach because I love that you're excited by the work. Okay, I really do. One of the things I love about being an alchemy coach is that it allows you to use your magical self. So for me, okay, there are different levels of magic, all right? There's some deep magic for those of you who work with, energy and who do Reiki and other healing things, and also maybe a little witchcraft in there. There are all sorts of levels, okay? And you can do that with alchemy coaching, but you also don't have to do all those things. You can simply have intuition and you want to develop your intuition. You want to develop your perception. You want to develop all of those higher faculties of your mind. That is a part of being an alchemy coach. That's part of what you learn in the training process. Now, here's another thing that I love about alchemy coaching. Because we work with the level of the soul, we teach you, all right, because you don't have to come in knowing all these things, but we train you on how to use astrology, how to use Reiki, all right, because we want you to have a healing modality in your back pocket, all right. Um, we also train you on um, tarot. Tarot is a really important part to help you with your communication. So even if you don't use all those things in your practice, you want to know how to use them because it opens up communication with your own spirit guides and communication with source, with life, with the divine feminine, with nature is really important for this work. And you don't have to know how to do that. Like you don't have to walk in knowing how to do it. There's the whole training program that includes all of that stuff, right? For right now, though, I want to talk to you about the overall framework and really what it takes to be an alchemy coach. So I have put together a PowerPoint presentation and I'm getting ready to rock it. And I'm going to act like I know technology and love technology and I know how to do a presentation all by myself without my virtual assistant. I can do it. I can. All right, I have no idea of how to really do it. So what I'm going to do is simply just share my screen and hope that this looks clear to you and I don't mess it up. Here we go. Sharing my screen. Boom. Consider it shared. Oh, and I think that if I actually, this is good enough. This is good enough. So, so I have for you the six-figure alchemy coach. Let me see, I'm going to put this here so I can see it. So I have for you the six-figure alchemy coach certification. All right. This is the certification that I've been developing for the last 13 years. Okay. It is partially lived, but it's also what I've been using with my clients. And I've just formalized it and brought it into this method that I would love to initiate you into if it sounds like something that is exciting to you. So let me talk to you about what it takes to be a six-figure alchemy coach. All right. So first of all, in order to be a six-figure, what I want for you is to be a six-figure alchemy coach. So what does that even mean? It means that you are someone who has been trained as an alchemy coach. That means that you've gone through your own level of transformation. We're not looking for you to be perfect, but we are looking for you to be someone who is willing to go into the fire. You need to be someone who's willing to do the things that you need to ask your clients to do in order to transform. So again, we're not looking for perfection, but we're looking for a strong sense of willingness. And honestly, to do this kind of work, it takes a lot of courage. You have to be courageous to go up against your own demons And you have to be courageous to go up against the demons of the people that you're going to be helping. All right. All right, let's go to the next slide here. Yes. So, in order for you to be a six-figure alchemy coach, you need to have three things, okay? You need to have spiritual mastery, emotional mastery, and material mastery. So, what am I talking about? Well, look, as a coach, you are a leader, and it is up to you to lead not just your clients, but to lead yourself. So again, you can't ask your clients to do something that you're not willing to do, and you cannot give something that you do not have. So you have to start working on yourself internally. You have to work at the level of your spirit. You have to work at the level of your emotions. And you also have to work at the level of the material world. So it's not enough to be like, oh, I'm really, really good at woo woo, but I'm really, really bad in the material world. I can't manage my money. I don't take care of my body. I can't get my life together. I live in chaos, but I'm going to really help you get your life together. That doesn't actually work. Okay. So we need you to be willing to step into this level of maturity in order to be a life coach who can master the spiritual level, the emotional level, and the material level. All right. All right. Now let me move this over because I cannot see what's next. Okay. So, in order for you to be to master the spiritual world, you need what we call alchemical fire. Now, I'm going to talk to you more about that in a moment, but this alchemical fire is the key. It is the key to everything. And if you are someone, especially right now, who is experiencing a lot of change, okay, you feel the fire, all right? You'll know what I'm talking about already, but I am going to give you a little bit more information, okay? So, in order to have spiritual mastery, you have to have alchemical fire. Now, in order to have emotional mastery, you need what's called an alchemical crucible. Now, a crucible is a very interesting thing because it's an object, but it's also a trial. So, a crucible is what alchemists use to burn things in, right? It's basically a heat-resistant bowl or a vessel. Now, here's the thing. A crucible is also a challenge that you go through. So again, we have just passed through the full moon in Pisces, and I'm hearing from a lot of people that over the last 10 days, they have been going through a huge up upheaval in their emotions. It's because we're at the end of the year. This is all just divine timing. By the way, working with the seasons, working with the elements, working with the planets, working with the moon is a huge part of the work that we do as alchemy coaches. So all of this stuff that we're going through, there is a reason for it, and it is a good reason. And if you've been in the fire, if you're experiencing that uh, if you're in the crucible and experiencing that fire, just know that you are going to come out shiny and golden. All right. All right. So to have emotional mastery, you must have that alchemical crucible. And to have material mastery, you need an alchemical business. So we're going to talk about these three levels a little bit more, but that alchemical business is where you are bringing your heart and soul into the business, and you are in union with the divine. You are running your business with God as your partner. All right. And the two of you are going to bring that fire to that alchemical fire to the business, and you're going to light yourselves up, and you're going to light up the whole world with your coaching offers. All right. All right. So next, let's talk now about this alchemical, this spiritual mastery and this alchemical fire. Let me see if I can, let me see. I'm going to move this down. Okay. So, yes, I can see, you can see. All right. So, you need alchemical fire. What is alchemical fire? Well, alchemical fire is the energy of, honestly, it can be destructive, and the nature of fire is to burn, but we want to use it in a destructive and constructive way, but we want it all being done with as much consciousness and as much love as we can bring to it. So we want to use the fire in a destructive way to burn down your house. That's the first principle that we want to work with, burning down your house. Now, why are we going to burn down your house? Well, we're not actually physically burning down your house, but we're burning down the house that ego built. We are burning down the constructions that your ego has built. We're talking the illusion of lack, the illusion of fatigue, the illusion of disease, the illusion of powerlessness. We're burning all that down because that does not serve you. All of that illusion is masking who you truly are and not allowing you to step fully into your power. So we have got to burn down the house that ego built. All right. Now, here's where we start to get very constructive with that alchemical fire. We want to use that fire to inflame your pleasure. This is really important because that pleasure, if you think your negative emotions are powerful, okay, wait until you start using your pleasurable emotions to create what it is you want for yourself. Absolute magic. All right. So we want to, this is a part of what we have to do as alchemists. We have to learn how to bring our pleasure to the forefront and let that be the thing that actually shapes the world. Okay. Now, your ego might be saying things like, yeah, but too much pleasure. That is exactly the thing that we must burn up, my friend. All right. Having too much pleasure is not really what this is about, or it's not about being hedonistic, all right? But it's about understanding that pleasure is a powerful, powerful tool. It's a powerful tool of manifestation. It's a powerful tool of creation. It's a powerful tool of the divine feminine. You want to master that, okay? And all of this is going to help you have spiritual mastery. Now, here's the thing. Once you've started burning down the house that ego built and you are, you know, amping up your pleasure and you're using it to create, you gotta create your vision for your coaching business, right? So this could be you creating a vision where you are hosting retreats in Bali, or you are hosting retreats in Costa Rica. It can be where you are helping people doing whatever it is that's being called, being worked through you. Your job is to take that alchemical fire and to light that up, to give it life, to put light into it so that it manifests, that it gives birth, so that it's like, it's partially like the phoenix. This whole spiritual and alchemy fire is like the destruction of the phoenix, right? When it's plummeting to earth and that egg is being born, and then it rises up with something new. That's the fire that we want around your vision. And that's going to be the fire that you're going to use to help your clients. All right. Now, in the certification process, I take you through this whole thing. Of course, that's what the certification is for. But we go into detail and we actually start working through all the things, and it's really fun and you're going to love it. All right. So that is spiritual mastery. Let's look now at emotional mastery. And this is that crucible. This is where the hardest work comes. A lot of you all are going to be really great with alchemical fire and working with spiritual mastery. But the biggest challenge I think that we humans face is around this emotional mastery and getting through this alchemical crucible. Again, if you are feeling some things right now and you are having some experiences that are um, challenging you, you are in the alchemical crucible, my friend, and just please enjoy the process because it's an important step in your growth and development. So there are three parts to this alchemical crucible, which is going to lead you to emotional mastery. All right. The first thing is to transmute your story. So you have a story, and if you're like most human beings, you've gone through some challenges, through some pain, through some trauma in your past. And the problem with most human beings is that that trauma carries with it a negative story. And I totally understand that. I respect it. But as an alchemy coach, you got to transmute that story and you have to understand that there's something more behind the story than just you suffering and struggling. I don't care what the suffering is. I don't care what the struggle is. There is more to your struggle than just your pain. There's growth, there's legacy, there's ancestral expansion. All right. There is so much that is there that is an opportunity. And knowing how to do that as an alchemy coach, you have to do it for yourself. You have to also have to do it for your clients. And that is what it means to be in the alchemical crucible because it is painful to transmute your story. It is painful to have to confront all those layers of pain and suffering and struggle to go back and revisit those memories. People come in. They come into the certification and they're like, how deeply do I have to go? And I'm like, you have to go all the way. And they're like, but it's so hard to go all the way, visiting those memories. People forget and they cope. Their coping mechanism is to block out their entire childhood. This is serious business, my friend. And it's something that you have to do for yourself in order to be able to truly do this for other people. These people need someone who's willing to walk through the fire, to put themselves in the alchemical crucible so that they can come out, so that you can come out golden, right? So you can come out golden and lead these people through the fire as well. All right. So alchemical crucible leads to emotional mastery. So you transmute your story, but then here's the thing. You have got to break the mold of who you were and how you were doing things. All right. This way of being, when you are truly transforming, it means that you can no longer do the things that you used to do. Now, I am in the middle, personally, I'm in the middle of this big transformation for myself. There's something new being born through me. And today I saw there were two things that happened. The first thing that happened was somebody irritated me, and I reacted in the same way that I normally did. But here's the second thing that happened. I immediately had a different reaction to myself. It was a huge monumental shift in my consciousness. Normally, there'd be a lot of guilt and a lot of beating myself up for my reaction and a lot of criticism and inner critic and, like, who do you think you are and why? And all of that, along with this new self that has emerged, what has happened is that need to chastise myself has dropped. You know, there's this compassion for the self that is really, really strong. So this is an example of what it means to break the mold, where you're just not doing things the same way. And look, it is perfectly normal to have an emotional reaction to things. Emotions are energy in motion, okay? But it's not okay to keep having the same reaction to your own emotions, right? Especially when they are not helping you advance or expand. So, this is what I mean by breaking the mold. And once you start embodying this, you again are going to be led to emotional mastery. All right. Now, the last part of this particular vein is forging your mission. All right. So once you are mastering your emotions, you need to bring that mastery to the masses, right? Just like right now, I'm sitting here talking to you about my framework that I've created and, how I work in this program. I'm sharing that with you. You're learning about these things. You're learning about alchemy through this little this little impulse. It was totally an impulse to throw together this little class and be like, hey, let me talk to you about alchemy, okay? This is your job, right? Your job is to help educate people about this work, about the work that you're going to do. Why? Because it's the thing that's going to help them transform. How we're going to heal, this is how we're going to heal the world, y'all. You and me and all the other alchemy coaches and all the other types of coaches and the Reiki masters and the yoga masters and all the people, the Buddhists. We is gonna all heal this world together, okay? I do it through the alchemy coaching method. I want to invite you to join me in this way because I think you'll like it. If you follow me, it means that you can relate to what I'm talking about. You can relate to the alchemical fire. You can relate to the transformation. You can relate to the death and the rebirth process that alchemy is, right? Okay, so let me continue, and I'm almost done, y'all. All right. The last part of this is material mastery. Now, this is where we're going to get into the three-dimensional world, and you need a business. Now, the alchemical business is about bringing that fire, particularly that fire of love and that fire of action. If we were doing tarot, it would be the wands, okay, the suit of wands. It's about bringing that energy and that love and that fire and that creativity and that divine feminine, bringing that into a business and uniting all of your fire with the fire of source energy, with the fire of God. However you want to call it. You can call it God, you can call it source, you can call it the universe, whatever. You want to bring your consciousness with God's consciousness, and you want to blow up your business. All right. You want to create your alchemical business. Now, the first part of this is about building your vessel. Now, yes, it does mean about building your six-figure business. Okay. You need to have your writing, your videos, your social media platform. You also need your signature offer. You need to have your course online, your workbooks and all your clients, your calendar, all the things that go into making a coaching business, all right? But it's also about understanding that all of these things are led by your creativity, by your union and connection with the divine feminine. So that first thing is about building your vessel, okay, like doing the things. That's the divine masculine, actually, okay? But you want to make sure that while you're building and doing your work, you're also allowing the feminine to be in there. You're connecting with your heart. You're using your mind and your heart to um, to unite through you so that you're getting your message out to the world. Okay. Very, very important. Now, the second part of this is about magicking your money. You want to magic your money. You want to sprinkle some fairy dust on your money. All right. And you were like, Crystalline, what? So here's what I mean by this. Okay. Bear with me. Money is everywhere. It is all around you. Okay. You got to open up your mind. Okay. Before you go out and you do a coaching session or you try to get a coaching session, you have got to magic your money. You need to open your mind. You need to connect with the truth of the abundance of this universe. And then you need to energetically send out like little butterflies from your fingers, from your fingertips. Send out the little butterflies to go out there and get that money for you. Okay, go out and get the money. So this is about less doing and more being in abundance, embodying, right? And sending out the blessings into the world so that those blessings can go out there and propagate and help the world, help people, right? Like this class is going to help somebody. I'm calling it a class. It's a live stream. This live stream is actually going to help somebody, right? That help is going to drop. It's like dropping seeds in the ground, okay? And those seeds are going to sprout, and then that's going to come back to you. This is like the law of attraction. It is not like the law of attraction. It is the law of attraction, okay? But I like calling it magicking your money because it's like you don't have to go to a job and sit down at a desk and work 9 to 5 and get a paycheck for the hours you worked. You don't have to do that, okay? What you can do is sit down and bless the world and send out your offerings, create your offerings, and allow money to flow to you through that way, all right? Now, the last part of this whole thing is about igniting your movement. And this is where you have to think big about who you are and who you want to be and how you want to help the world. Because it's not just about like, oh, I'm going to, see a few clients and then, I might see some clients over here or I might see some clients over there. Nah, to be an alchemy coach, you need to be like, boom, fire. I want fire. I want to help thousands of people, tens of thousands of people. I want to help 1 million people. I want to write a best-selling book. I want to write my book so well that it gets published on the New York Times bestseller list. Okay. Not thinking small about who you are and what you're creating, thinking big and allowing God to fill you up with big, beautiful ideas. How y'all feeling? All right. I have not even checked in. I'm going to stop my screen share and I'm going to find my Facebook page and see if anybody's even here with me. Is anybody even here? I know Team Badass Butterfly is here with me. Oh my God. Hi. Hi, ladies. I don't know if anybody's watching. Can I even be seen? I should probably try refreshing my page. Anyway, here's the thing. I'm going to go ahead and sign off right now. I want to just say, number one, thank you for watching. If you watched live, would you do me a favor and in the comments, just type hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, type hashtag replay, please. All right. And look, if this is interesting to you, I want you to book yourself in for a 6-figure strategy call so that we can talk about your participation and becoming an alchemy coach. Now, we have enrollment open for the program now. So now is the time. We begin the first week of October, like October 5th is our first day of class. So now is the time for you to be thinking about this seriously, booking yourself in for a call, getting yourself organized, getting everybody on board, getting your family on board, all that kind of thing. Okay. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. And I thank you so much for joining me. And I'll catch up with you later. All right, friends. Bye for now. Mwah.